Hey everyone, Bill Lowen, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro, and today we're talking topwaters. You know, that's probably one of the most fun, exciting ways to catch a bass. And we're gonna talk about two of my favorites. You can see here I got a sexy dog and a popper. Typically for me with a dog walker, these are gonna be times when I know the fish are out there schooling. Sometimes they'll come up way out there, maybe out of reach. That's where I'm gonna reach for a walking style bait like this. This bait right here gives you the ability to make extremely long casts, okay? What else is gonna help you with that is I always throw this bait on 30-pound Tactex braid, okay? I tie the bait straight to the braid with no leader, okay? And what that braid does, it gives you the ability to cast extremely far. And a lot of times what happens is when that bait lands on the water, you get that bite. And if you don't have this bait on braid and you got it on mono or fluorocarbon, when you get that bite 50, 60, 70, 80 yards out there and you go to set the hook, you're not gonna get a good hookup. So remember that. Anytime you're making them long, far casts with a dog walking style bait, I always use 30-pound Tactex braid. A popper for me is gonna be a bait that I'm gonna go with when I'm fishing what I call isolated targets, you know, whether like throwing the laydowns or corners of docks, isolated rocks, anything that's going to be a isolated pinpoint cast where I want to keep that bait over that cover for long periods of time. That's when I'm going to reach for a popper style bait, okay? I still use 30-pound Tactex braid, but I'm using either a 20 or a 25-pound Tatsu fluorocarbon leader, okay? As you can see, it's a short leader. It's only about 2.5 foot. As you can see, I also have a little split ring tied on the front of that popper, okay? So what that does for me is gives me the ability to make two presentations out of one bait, okay? And what I mean by that, by putting that split ring on there, gives that popper the ability where you can walk it almost like a spook or a sexy dog, okay? Or you can just chug it like a traditional popper, okay? When I tie that straight to braid, if I was to tie that straight to braid, I wouldn't get that action out of there. So that's the reason I go with a fluorocarbon leader. So kind of remember that. If you're making them long casts with a walking style bait, go with a 30-pound Tactex braid. If you're using a popper style bait where you want to keep it in the strike zone a lot longer, add you a 20 to 25-pound Tatsu fluorocarbon leader.